Hello? Well, I see someone walking around with my head. I'm just switching microphones. Hang on. Okay.
Are we back?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
There are a couple of people here. I just want to pull something up to share with you. So, and yeah, I've still got 8 minutes. So there we go.
9, 8, 8, 1, 7. Countdown 2, 0, 2, 8, 6, 9, 8, 8, 1.
See, you come on early, you get me singing too.
Yeah, just a little.
Okay, good. I'm glad it's only a little. I'm not sure you all are ready for me to sing for you.
Come here.
All right. There we go. So I see Monica. How are you, Monica?
I'm good. Can you hear me okay, Professor?
I can hear you. And Pexy.
Yes.
Okay. Lauren.
8698813.
Lauren, are you there? Okay. We have a few more minutes, and I don't really like to start until I'm sure everybody is here. But you can sort of just tell me a little bit about you. Lauren, who are you? Who are you, Lauren?
Can you hear me?
I can.
All right. I'm Lauren Durham. I live in West Georgia. I am the ISS paraprofessional at a local middle school, obtaining my bachelor's degree in elementary education with the addition of secondary science.
Wow, cool. Okay. And Lauren, where in West Georgia are you?
Well, I'm out in Paulding County.
Okay. I don't know much about Georgia. I had ancestors that came from there at one time. They were in Monroe County.
Oh, okay, that's kind of far from here.
Yeah, well, see, I told you I don't know much about Georgia. Okay, and Texie? Hang on, I think we had a... Yeah, Texie? Where are you from?
Yes.
I am from southeastern Georgia, a very small town called Baxley.
Okay.
And it's about an hour and 15 minutes from the ocean, Brunswick and St. Simons.
Oh, very nice.
Yes, I prefer mountains.
There you go.
I am currently working as a paraprofessional, first grade, and I will be doing my student teaching first grade, and I'm very excited.
Terrific. And what, you're going to be doing special ed also?
No, I am not. It's just elementary education.
You're just doing elementary. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
All righty. Hi.
Hi.
Oh, we have more people. Oh, this is great. If you see something jump, it's my cat. He likes to be involved in these things, so you just never know. Could also be my wife, so I'm, not sure. Okay, Monica, tell me about yourself. Where are you living?
I live in Brooklyn, New York. I work in New York City in public school as a paraprofessional and in self-contained class. So right now I started student teaching in general education because I have dual major, general ed and special ed.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of, quite frankly, overwhelming because we started the course, PLN, and edTPA, everything adds up. It's really, really overwhelming experience, at least right now for me.
Okay. Well, Monica and everyone else, part of my job is to reassure you that you will get through this. I promise.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, I can see the doubt in your eyes, Monica. It'll be all right. We will work through these things. Okay. Darrington?
Oh, Seth Harrington.
Oh, there you go. I never know. I have people with all kinds of names come through my classes, so one never knows. But Seth,
Yes.
Where are you from?
I live in upstate New York, in the Adirondack Park region, and
Oh, nice.
yeah, real rural community. I work at a public school. I teach social studies.
Oh, cool. I taught social studies also.
Excellent. And I'm working on masters in special ed.
Very good. Okay. And Chris. Hello, Chris.
Yes, how you doing?
Good. How are you? You may want to turn up a little bit. I can hardly hear you.
Okay, hold on one second. Here we go. Can you hear me now?
Boy, we should make that into a commercial, Chris.
Yeah. How you all doing today?
I'm doing okay. Where are you from?
I'm from Stone Mountain, Georgia.
From Georgia. Very
Yes,
good.
Yes, sir. A little bit of background of me. I work at Tucker High School in Stone Mountain, Georgia, where I am a interrelated special education teacher right now.
Oh, great.
Mm-hmm.
So are you getting your bachelor's degree or master's degree?
I'm getting my master's in special education. I want to be a self-contained teacher.
Very good. Okay. Well, in 1 minute, I'll tell you about me. Dun, dun, dun. No, that's okay. It's not all that. All right. Well, it's 6 o'clock, so I think that we are going to get started. I see we do have someone who just came on. Rochelle.
Yes, hi.
Hi, Rochelle. Where are you from? I think I texted with you. I mean, emailed with you.
Yes. Upstate New York.
Okay. Where in upstate New York?
Like the Utica area.
Okay. Wow. Well, it's very nice to have you all here. I would ask you, I don't like to mute everybody for one of these meetings because it's much more interesting if we can all talk to each other. But if you have like a huge dog barking or, you know, your children are getting hungry or whatever, go ahead and mute yourself, and I can unmute you if there is a question. So what I wanted to do tonight is to go over some of the things that, hello Kimberly, welcome.
Hi.
I wanted to go over some of the things that we're going to be talking about in the PAST course, kind of give you a general overview of it and of edTPA. Now, if we don't answer all of the questions tonight, that's okay, because we have 4 more of these meetings. So they are, obviously they are not required, but they are to help you in preparation for your student teaching courses. Now, how many of you are starting student teaching this week?
I
Have 1, okay.
am.
Oh, you are too? Okay.
And I am too.
What was this question? I'm not sure who your instructors are going to be. I work with the instructors also. So I'll tell you a little bit about me. My name is Dr. Sid Weinberg. Most of the time I just go by Dr. Sid. I am also somebody who moved into teaching a little bit later in life. I worked with at-risk kids. I worked with SPED kids. And I also taught social studies and health and anything else that the principal told me I needed to teach. I even once taught a course in art history. But that wasn't the best. The best was Native American dance. I subbed at a Native American school, but Native American dance, as you can tell, I am not Native American. Not one little bit. So basically it was, you know, 6 to 7-year-olds teaching me how to do Native American dance. In any case, I got my bachelor's degree. I have 2 of them from many years ago. I graduated college in 1983. I graduated from Columbia University in New York and grew up in New Jersey, spent a lot of time in New York, went back to school, got my master's. Hello, Sonia. There we go. Went back to school, got my master's in 2010 and my doctorate in 2013. And I have been teaching now at Grand Canyon for the last 5 years or so. I started off as a student teacher supervisor, so I would go into the classrooms during your phase of the course and watch you teach and evaluate teaching. You will have that experience. I don't think it will be with me because I live in Michigan. So getting to either Georgia or New York would probably be a little problematic and more money than GC would want to spend. So I now teach a variety of different courses for the College of Education and also work as the edTPA clinical practice mentor. There are 2 of us, along with Tracy Vasquez, who's a full-time faculty member at GCU, full-time clinical specialist at GCU. And my job is to help you get through edTPA. So that's part of what I do. I also teach a lot of courses, but one of the things that I am here to do is to help you get through edTPA. Okay, hi Maddie.
Hello.
You just came on. People are like coming and going and walking, and We once had someone cook dinner during one of these things, and then we all went to their house in Georgia. Anyway, but it looked good, you know. So what I would like to do tonight is to go over stage 1 of the past course. What I would like to do also is show you where you can get your handbook and your templates, okay? So why don't we start by finding out what you know about edTPA. Anybody can just sort of chime in. What do you know about edTPA?
I heard it's hard and a pain.
Okay, who is that? Just tell me your name when you talk so I know who to look at.
This is Ashley.
Ashley. Hi, Ashley.
Hello. I'm being facetious, but
No, you know what? If it were the easiest thing in the world for people to do, they would not be hiring my partners and I to help you with it. Trust me.
that's true.
So it can be difficult. But if you take it piece by piece and chunk by chunk, you will get through it, okay? So don't think of it as a whole. I want you to think of it as that must be completed. That way, when you're working on task 1, I don't want you thinking about task 2. Okay? So we will be able to get through this, I promise. What else have you heard of it?
Hi, it's me, Keisha Reese.
Hi, Keisha.
Hi. I've heard, to be perfectly honest, so many horror stories. And it kind of amazed me at the fact that only 3 states, Georgia, Wisconsin, and is it New York, that does the edTPA. I think it's somewhat new here in Georgia over the last few years, but I just heard that it was long, hard, and tedious. Those were the 3 words that was told to me today by some people that have passed the edTPA.
Okay. First of all, let me explain that edTPA is required now in a number of other states.
Oh, okay.
It is required in Illinois. It's required in New Jersey, Washington State, but those states all have alternative ways of getting through edTPA without having to do it necessarily during student teaching. Okay? And so for GCU, you're going to be working on a modified curriculum. In other words, you're going to be doing stuff that other students in your class will not be doing. And that is because we're going to prepare you. You're going to do pieces of the edTPA during your student teaching. Okay? So we're going to be doing this with you, your instructor. Okay, and you'll see how that all works. Don't spend the night worrying about that now. Anything else?
So this is Maddie. I had heard that we have to videotape ourselves and we have to put a certain amount of things together and send them to the Department of Education. And then once they view the edTPA, they're the ones that determine whether or not we get our final certification. Is that correct?
Yes and no. The edTPA consists of 3 tasks. But you're not going to send it to your Department of Education. You are going to send it to Pearson. Now, if you look in any of your textbooks, the majority of them come from Pearson. Pearson is a publishing company that is also sold and is partially responsible for edTPA. So when you have put together your package, you are going to send that package to Pearson. Pearson will send you back your score.
Okay.
So now let's talk for a minute about the different tasks in edTPA. There are 3 tasks if you are special ed. There are 4 tasks if you are elementary ed. If you are secondary, there are only 3 tasks. So the first task is planning. In the planning task, what you're going to do is prepare 3 to 5 lesson plans along with whatever else you're going to use, assessments, etc. 3 to 5 lesson plans that are to be taught over a week's time. Now, if you are special education, which most of you are, you may use any of the 4 main topic areas. You can use science, social studies, math, or English. If you are doing elementary ed, and I think there are a couple of you here that are, then your edTPA has to be about literacy. Okay?
Excuse me.
Yes.
I'm sorry, this is Fabrice Wyatt, and I have a question about that because I have a dual major, and so is that saying that I'm having to do the elementary education and special ed?
No, you're only going to do one edTPA, and my suggestion to you is that you do the special ed one. Number one, it only has 3 tasks instead of 4. And number 2, when you get to choosing your focus class, special ed, you only need 1 focus student.
Oh, okay, so I just need to focus on one student.
So you only need to focus on 1 student, and you only have to do 3 tasks instead of the 4. So you can do whichever you want. Either one would be acceptable. You do not, under any circumstances, have to do both to send in, okay?
Okay.
So if you're in a dual program, you may choose either elementary or special ed.
I'll choose special ed.
Good, okay.
Okay.
See how easy this is now? Okay, so you have your task 1. Now, instead of like writing papers and reports, what you do in each task is you are going to write a commentary. They're going to give you questions in what we call a template. And the template, you answer the questions right on the template. We're going to take a look at that in just a minute, okay? So you know what, maybe this is what we'll do. I am in the PLN. You can see I'm the one with 136 unanswered messages, but we won't talk about that. So let's go to our edTPA handbooks and templates. These are your Bibles. This is your Bible, okay? I know we're a Christian university, but for this course, you are now all part of my new edTPA cult. And our holy book is your handbook. Know it, read it, love it. Well, you don't have to love it, but you know what I mean. Okay. So in order to find it, I want you to go to the funny square where it says groups. We click on groups, And there we go. Now, you'll notice down the side, we have a thing that says group spaces, right? So you go down to the edTPA group space. So this area is a special section that is simply designed for those of you who are doing edTPA. Okay? And this is what it should look like. How many of you have been here already?
I was.
I have.
I have.
Good.
I have.
Very good. Now, edTPA handbooks and templates. Everybody see the big purple square?
Yeah.
I have a coat that color from GCU. People think it stands out. Okay. So we're going to click right on the big purple square. And that's going to bring us to content specialization, edTPA materials. Now, we're going to take, since the majority of you are special ed, we are going to take a look at the special ed area, okay? So you're going to go down here to special education. All right. Now you'll notice that there are a number of things here, okay? They're all interesting and they're all important. But you're going to go to the third item down on the checklist, which is going to take you to the materials that you will need for edTPA. Okay? So, here we are, 2018-2019 special education. This is your handbook. Now, the handbook is going to show up in PDF. And if it, you know, I'm an old person. I used to tell my middle school students I was 558 years old. There were a couple of them that didn't believe me for some reason. But anyway, what you're going to do is come down. This is your handbook for special education. And you will see that it is divided up by tasks. This is what I was telling you about. So task 1 is planning. Task 2 is instruction. Task 3 is assessing learning. And this will give you all of the information that you need about doing this. Now, my suggestion is when we finish, hello? When we finish tonight, go into the PLN and simply download all of the things that I'm going to show you, okay? And then you have them on your computer, and you're going to need them. All right, so this is your handbook. That's to guide you through the process. Now, you will notice that we will be having special webinars, and you'll be notified through your courses about when those will be. There will be webinars. There will be all kinds of things to help you. Just going on the PLN section that edTPA section that I showed you before is really going to help you to get a sense of this. Okay. Everybody okay?
Yes. Yes.
Is this stuff that you're interested in? Is this helpful?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to go back. Are you okay? We're going to look at the templates. Now, even though there are 3 tasks, you have 4 templates. And that's because in the planning task, in task number 1, you're going to have a commentary template, but you're also going to have a context for learning template. And this is the one that when you get into your courses, you're going to work on first. Basically, the context for learning template, as you'll see in a second, is about demographics. Where are you working? So we have, about your placement, what you're going to be doing with your students, and where they are, about the focus learner, what's their age. So basically, this is demographic information about the student, just to introduce us to the student. Not hard to fill out. This is not any kind of a trick or something. It's fairly straightforward. So you're going to be doing that in the planning task. You'll be doing that actually before you do the planning task. Okay. Now, here is your planning commentary. So that would be the one for task 1. Okay. And here's what it will look like. Maybe. There we go. Okay. So notice that you have responses to the questions that you're going to need to give. Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
No, I just, somebody, a bell. Okay. So all of these questions you're going to answer directly on this form. So you don't have to do it on a piece of paper or things like that. All of these templates, they have different questions, obviously, but they are all basically the same procedure, okay? Now, for the instructional commentary, and we're going to talk more about this next time, okay? Next time on Thursday evening, we will be talking specifically about videotaping. What you need to do, what you need to know, how to do it, and any questions that you have about it. You are going to need to videotape, to send in one 20-minute clip or 2 10-minute clips of you teaching. Now, we'll talk more about this next time, but those clips are going to provide evidence that your student is learning. This is important, okay? Dun, dun, dun. This is important music. Okay. The goal of edTPA is not to see how good a teacher you are. It is to see whether or not your student has learned. So they're not going to be interested in seeing your classroom management style. You're not going to get graded on classroom management. You are going to be evaluated on whether or not your student has learned. Therefore, in all of the tasks, your job is to show that your student has learned in a variety of ways. Through data. How many of you have gotten through our program and you hear that word all the time in your course? Data, right? It's not enough anymore. Right, it's not enough anymore for you to call the parent and say, oh, your son did such a good job. No. Or your son is having a problem. No. You need to have data. And so the majority of your edTPA is data. It's evidence about whether or not your student has learned. So one easy way of doing evidence would be, for example, what?
Assessment.
Assessment. What kind of an assessment?
Pre-assessment and after the lesson, exit ticket.
Perfect. So one of the things that most people will do with their edTPA is they'll do a pre-assessment. Monica, you get an A for the night. You do a pre-assessment before you teach anything. That's very important. Every so often I come across someone in one of my student teaching classes and says, well, I gave the pre-assessment and they didn't remember anything I taught them. And I'm like, oh my goodness. That's not a pre-assessment, friends. It's a nice formative assessment, but that's not going to help you collect data. So if you have a student, you're teaching, say, history. Where's my history teacher? I know I have someone here.
Right here.
Yep, there you go. Okay, Seth, very good. Seth, you're about to teach about the American Revolution, okay?
All right.
And you need to give a pre-assessment about, say, the Constitution or whatever. You give the pre-assessment first, you teach the material, you give the same test again as a post-assessment, and you have data.
Okay.
Okay? Now, people will always say, well, you know, it could be, I only picked on you, Seth, because I taught that stuff too. So if you've ever taught math, don't worry about me ever picking on you, because I have never taught math. And in fact, there are reasons why I am a professor of education and not math. Anyway, so there you have a piece of data, a piece of evidence. When you're doing edTPA, that's what you're looking for. So you would do your pre-assessment at the beginning of your instruction. And then at the end of your teaching, you would give the post-assessment, and all of that would appear in task 3. Task 3 is the assessment of learning. So basically, how can you prove that the student has learned? That's what edTPA is about. Okay, does this help at all?
Yes.
Yes.
This is what it's all about. You are teaching the student, it is student-centered. What has the student learned? How can you prove that? You prove it in 3 ways. You prove it through evidence, our pre-assessment, post-assessment. You prove it through instruction, the video of you teaching, of you working with the student, and you prove it through your commentaries.
Instruction like guided practice, or instruction like just teaching the content, the subject?
You know what? It could be either or both. The more interaction that you have with the student, the better it is. Because remember, if it's student-centered, the last thing that the scorer, the edTPA score person wants to see is just you lecturing to a class. Okay? Remember, it's not teacher-centered, it's student-centered. As my adult children say to me, Dad, it's not all about you.
Mm-hmm.
How many of you have heard that from your kids? Anyway.
Not yet.
I have.
So as much as I love you all and may even have some of you in class for your student teaching, I don't know yet, it's not all about you. It's
Amen.
So everything that we want to do when you choose what video clips you're going to send in, you want it to provide evidence for something you said in your commentary or for something that you talk about in your commentary. And we'll talk more about how that all fits together like a puzzle. But again, you're going to want to do something that's active. You're going to want to do something that shows the student is learning, shows some feedback from the student, and things like that. So, yes.
Are we looking at a small group of students? I thought I saw something that said you have to have a minimum of 4 students, or are we looking at the whole class as far as the lessons in the video?
What are you, elementary or SPED?
I'm elementary.
Okay. Elementary, you do have to have, for the purposes of edTPA, for elementary, a class is 4 students or more.
Okay.
So like if I'm working in a reading group, I could be videoed in that?
Oh, yeah, yes. Remember, you would need, if you're doing special ed, then you really only need 1 focus student. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So it's a little different than elementary. Ashley, elementary is a little bit different. Remember, you would have to do literacy, and you will also be doing a 4th task.
For math,
There's
correct?
information about that in PAS. You'll see it. Okay. So you would have a 5th commentary here about your 4th math task. Okay. So these are
before you go any further, I have a question.
Yes, and who is this?
Well, this is fabulous, and I'm a little confused because now my student teaching just started Monday, and I'm having to do the elementary part, but then my second segment is going to start in March for special ed. So right now I'm going to be in the reading area of student teaching in the reading area in elementary part. So I really got a little confused on what am I still supposed to just do a 10-minute video in reading?
Okay. Let me explain this. Yeah, if you're making noise, again, I'm going to ask you to self-mute because I can't see everybody.
What is all the noise?
Whoever's like wrestling, okay, good. If we could, very good. You could mute that with okay. So here's the answer to the question. You're going to be doing edTPA for both of your placements, for elementary and for special ed. The first one, holy moly.
That chicken. Yeah, that chicken and mac and cheese in the same way.
Okay. All right. So you're going to be doing it for both sessions, both for elementary in your first session and SPED in your second session. In elementary, you're going to use it like as a kind of a trial. So you'll do elementary. You can work on special ed if your professor will allow you. Otherwise, you're going to work as if you were going to do the elementary edTPA. But you're not going to have to revise it. You're going to practice your videotaping, which you really should do anyhow, whether you are in SPED for 15 weeks or you are in the dual program. Practicing videotaping is a really good thing to be doing. Okay? So does that help? You're going to work on edTPA your whole student teaching. You only have to submit one of them. How much effort you choose to put into those edTPA sessions is up to you. Okay? You're not going to be evaluated by your course instructor on your edTPA work. So make sure that you turn everything in on time and you will get the points for having done the assignments. Because we're not allowed to, we're not permitted to evaluate anything that edTPA is going to evaluate later. Okay. Other questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
The templates we've seen before, what you've shown us, are they a part of a TPA, like a component? We can use it as a template to write a TPA?
They are the way you're going to write edTPA.
So I can't really use them word per word. I can just...
Yes, you're gonna answer the questions on each template.
And I submit a final product on the template, right?
Yes.
And is anybody in GCU will look at our final product before submitting to Pearson?
We can look at it and we will give you some general ideas, but we cannot make specific evaluations because that's what Pearson does.
I see.
In other words, we can't correct it, have you go back, because then it's not just your work, it's our work then. You see what I mean?
I see.
It's like if you went to take a test like the BACE test or whatever it is, you would do it, hand it to me, I would correct it, and hand it back to you. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, yes, I understand.
And then you would turn it in for credit. And we're not allowed to do that. We will give you hints. We will help you with some best practices. We will go over any questions you have, anything that you need, but direct evaluation of your work we can't do.
But also I have a question in regards to special ed at TPA. Do I create a goal or do I use goal from IP?
That's a very good question. We would get into that when we get into more specific stuff about special ed. You use a goal from the IEP.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Other questions?
I did understand that I only have to submit either elementary or special ed if I'm dual majoring.
That's correct.
And I get to choose?
You do.
Okay.
Dr. Sid, I have a question.
Yes.
This is Keisha Reese. Now, I remember earlier you said we can use any of the subjects like math, science, ELA, and so forth.
Yeah.
So
only for special ed.
Yeah, for special ed. I am special ed. So can we just focus on one content area, like one area like ELA? Or do we have to do 3 different ones?
Oh, no. You must focus on one content area.
Okay.
One set of lesson plans. So you're going to have one learning goal or 2 learning goals. Remember, you don't want to have too many learning goals because otherwise then what do you have to provide for them?
Okay. So one content area, you said one learning goal.
One learning goal. So if you're teaching about the American Revolution, that's what you're teaching about.
Okay. And we can use that throughout, all the tasks.
You have to.
Okay. Okay. All right.
On this 3 to 5 lesson plans.
Okay, so it's specified on one content area. That was just my question because I thought that we had to do like 3 different subjects, but we just focus on one subject, right?
One subject, one set of lesson plans. Yeah, in fact, the reason why I'm emphasizing it is because if you go astray and you start teaching something else, they will throw the edTPA back at you.
Okay.
So you've got to be sure to stick with your one learning goal.
Good. Okay.
That's
good.
what you need to do.
All righty. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions before we adjourn?
When do we have to register for the edTPA?
This is a good question too. You may register for edTPA anytime. Now, registering for edTPA is done at the Pearson edTPA site. And it's going to cost you $300. Now, that is not a GCU fee. We don't have anything to do with that. That's Pearson. Okay? However, everything that you need to complete the edTPA is available on the PLN right here. Okay? So if you want to wait to register, you can do that. You must be registered, though, before the end of student teaching when you're ready to turn in your portfolio. Your materials. Okay? Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Anything?
Will there be a copy of this webinar tomorrow somewhere that we can get information that may, because I come in late. This is Nancy Wally. I'm sorry.
Hi, Nancy. No, it's no problem. The webinar is being recorded, and I will have it up in tomorrow in the forums. So if
great,
I'll make a new forum that says, live webinars, and
yes, sir.
And I will have it there for you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, well, if we are done for tonight, I just want to thank you all for being here. This is a record for a PAST live webinar. So we have 20 people tonight, and I thank you all for being here. I'm available to you through the PLN. I'm also available to you during the PAST course and afterwards. So if you're in your student teaching and you think of a question that you didn't get answered or you need some help with something, I will be there to work with you. And feel free, you'll be able to email me, you'll be able to call me if you want. Just be aware, I live on the eastern seaboard with the rest of you. Well, I live in Michigan, so I'm on Eastern time. Do not make the mistake that one person made and think that I live in Arizona. I do not. I do not like getting edTPA calls at 1 in the morning. Trust me. Anyway, so we will talk again on Thursday. Thursday we'll discuss all of the ins and outs of videotaping. In the meantime, keep working through the PAST course. If you need any help, let me know. I will get back to you. I try to get back to you within 24 hours of receiving your email. Usually it's sooner than that. Okay, any final questions? Anybody having anything really good for dinner I should come by?
No, Dr. Sid, I have just one more question. So with these templates, this is Keisha Reese again. With these templates right here, where it says download this folder, we could just click on that and just download everything at one whole time.
You know what? I'm not sure about that. Probably. Okay. I would definitely make sure you can do that, or just download them one at a time. They don't take long to download.
Okay.
And then create a folder on your computer. But you want these for having them on your computer ready to go is going to be helpful to you. Also,
Keisha,
yes, go ahead.
when I tried downloading all of them at one time, it said something about I needed to subscribe or get that WinZip. In order to do that, I ended up having to just do one at a time.
Just do them one at a time then. Yeah, you have to use a zip file, which can be more trouble than it's worth.
Right.
One other thing that may come up in stage 1, there is no edTPA lesson plan template. So you may use, we would suggest using the GCU template. However, you may want to use the old one, the one-page template, because the new one has too many pages.
Definitely.
So, I mean, for edTPA, I'm not making believe me, I'm not making a general discussion of do we like the new format or not. I'm just saying for edTPA purposes, it's too long.
It is.
So use the old template. You can still find it. If your school has a template, that's fine. Be very careful though, because certain items have to be on the lesson plan. And we know that the GCU template has all of those items. So be aware of that.
Sid, this is Maddie. I have a question. Where would we be able to find the old GCU template? In the Student Success Center?
Student Success Center, right. Okay. It's been very nice talking to all of you. We are almost at our allotted hour. And my favorite show comes on soon. Oak Island. The Curse of Oak Island.
I have a quick question before you hang up.
Yes.
This is Fabulous again, and I had to call back 3 times because something has gone wrong with this phone. But anyway, so I missed out on the part about the lesson plan, and then I missed out on the part about I had a question, but then a lot of relevance started coming through, and then my phone hung up, and it had to do with me being in the while I'm doing my student teaching now, and I asked a question about the 10 minutes of taking the video in a reading class. So you were getting ready to answer that question, but the phone hung up.
Oh, okay. Make a long story short. Use the GCU old lesson plan. That's your best bet.
Okay.
Yes, you want to practice videotaping, even if you don't use the elementary edTPA. If you're still going to work on it.
Okay.
And use that as a practice to get ready for special ed.
Okay.
But definitely do the videotaping and everything so that you get some work in doing it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All righty. Remember, I will see you again on Thursday evening, same bat time, same bat channel. And if you have any other questions, or you have questions that you think pertain to you and not to everybody else, feel free to get in touch with me either by email or through the PAST course.
Professor, so Thursday it's gonna be on at 6 o'clock?
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
They're all going to be at 6 o'clock, and I will send you a broadcast. Did you all get that today?
Yes.
A little notice about the meeting.
Yes.
And the link. I will send another one out on Thursday to make it even easier for you.
Okay.
Okay.
And so how often, this is Kimberly, I'm sorry. How often will these take place?
We have one Thursday, and the next week we have 3. It's for each stage of the PAST course. So we end each stage with a live virtual meeting.
Okay.
Now, if people want to meet, you know, there's nobody says you have to be at all. So if you can't make one or whatever, that's fine too.
So this is Maddie. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Maddie.
I have a question. You said that you sent like a reminder. Where did you send that to?
That should have gone to your the email associated with your PLN.
Because I'm having trouble. I wasn't able to log in as of yesterday or this morning, and I just happened to run into a coworker of mine who's also doing the same course, and she was able to log in today, so I just happened to stumble across this meeting, so I didn't receive any reminders of it.
Okay. It sounds like you're having difficulty with the PLN.
Yeah, I was in the same position too.
Yeah.
Me too.
To contact would be Tracy Vasquez. I don't do any of the technology. She really runs the PLN part of it.
The only thing is Tracy Vasquez doesn't pick up the phone.
Right, and she doesn't really
doesn't answer the voicemail.
I agree.
Your best bet is to email her.
Yes. She doesn't answer the emails either.
She's been very slow on them. I know that for sure.
I agree. I think a lot of students were struggling logging in, and I feel like I missed out on another discussion from what a coworker of mine told me because of the lack of information in a timely manner.
Oh,
amen.
That I don't know. This is our first discussion, so I haven't had. We just started the course yesterday.
Okay.
I haven't
but see, you had one. There was another course the last 2 weeks, and I was trying to get in on that, and I never could because Miss Tracy would never respond to any of my calls or texts, or I mean emails. Excuse me. And I know this has nothing to do with you, sir. I'm just throwing it out there.
Feel free. You can vent. I told you I'm not in Arizona. I live in Michigan.
I live in Georgia, so I'm far enough away too, I think.
Yeah.
This is Ashley. I had the same issue. Guys, if you just keep trying to sign in every day, like I haven't been able to get in 2 weeks. And today I just logged in and it worked. So you just have to keep trying. I don't know, but it just works for me. So just try daily.
That's what happened. And, yeah, tech support had told me that I had logged in with my iCloud account, which wasn't true. And I logged in with my regular account after my coworker told me she was able to get in, and we were able to do this. But she texted me a little while ago, and she told me that she was doing a live discussion that ended at 5:45 today. So I feel like I missed something else.
Okay, you did not. There are different PAST courses.
Okay.
And so yours is, this one that we're in, is geared for people who are doing their edTPA and special ed. There are other edTPA courses. There's one other that's running right now, and another one that's going to start next week that are taught by Tracy, teaches one of them. And then another one of my colleagues teaches the other. But I think the one that's starting tonight is early childhood, either early childhood or elementary. I think it's early childhood. So we tried, huh?
So I have a question. So I'm not special ed, I'm elementary.
Yeah, so am I.
Then
and I'm actually signed into, I think Tracy teaches the other course. So when I log into the groups, I have yours, and then I have EE 1719. Is that the other one?
That is the other one. 1 second.
Okay.
Okay. EE would be, I believe, elementary. Yeah.
Okay, because I was signed into this one at first, and then yesterday I had trouble, so she sent me another one. So now I'm logged into 2. So should I stick with this one or go to elementary?
You know, are you elementary?
Yes.
You're not special ed at all?
No.
Okay. I would.
Well, I've been teaching it but now I'm switching over to regular ed.
Okay. I would go into the elementary one, but it's up to you. We're going over a lot of the same information.
Similar things. Okay.
But there will be some things like task 4 that you're going to want to go over with them. So, Maddie, the other meeting was probably not pertinent to you.
Okay, so Sid, I should be going, since I'm in elementary, I should be going into PASTEE 1719.
Are you doing dual or are you doing?
No, I'm only doing elementary education.
Okay, then you might want to write an email to Tracy, and you might want to go into the elementary 1719.
Okay.
Although I'll miss you.
Me too, Sid. Sounds like you know what you're talking about. I feel like I'm being given the runaround.
No. I would never give you the runaround.
Not by you, but by Tracy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, Tracy's a very good teacher. You'll hopefully you'll get a chance to get to know her a little bit.
Okay.
So will that hurt us if, I don't know, we don't really get credit for this if we switch over? Like, should we welcome ourselves again, that kind of thing? Or
no, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. Remember,
Yes, I'm elementary education too, but I am also going to be doing my student teaching in middle school because I've taken the GACE for middle school science. In Georgia, I'll be certified K through 8.
Why don't you stay with me?
Okay.
Because I'll tell you why. We're not running a secondary education, it looks like, right away.
Okay.
And you're going to want to do the edTPA for secondary.
Right.
Yeah. Well, which one is that?
What's your student teaching in? Where are you going to be student teaching?
I'll be student teaching in middle school.
Yeah, me too.
then that's what you want to do, because in the secondary edTPA, you may choose, whatever it is that you want to teach.
Right.
And you only have 3 instead of 4 tasks.
Okay.
So it would be logical, as Mr. Spock would say.
All right, that works.
Logical to do the secondary edTPA in order to get you, especially if you're student teaching. So why don't you stay here with me?
That is fine by me. Thank you.
I just have one other question. Is it possible just to cue into yours still, because I see that Tracy's live meetings are from 3 to 4, and I'm still at work. I don't know if that's what I mean?
That's 3 to 4 Arizona time.
Arizona time. Gotcha. So it's still okay.
So it's 5 to 6.
Oh, perfect.
I did 5 to 6 once, but I found that people were not ready at 5 to do it. So I went to 6 to 7, and the result has been that I have a lot more people tonight than I did a while ago. So, so we're going to stick from 6 to 7.
Thank you.
So hopefully that will help people out. Okay, friends, it is now 7:02.
Uh-oh.
Okay, we'll let you get to your TV show, and thank you so much, Mr. Sid.
You don't have to. My TV show, I DVR everything anyway because I hate commercials.
Me too. Me too.
I can't stand watching commercials. Even the GCU commercials, I don't like.
I hear you.
All right, friends, have a good night, and I will see you on Thursday.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, bye. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Well, good night.